Now I have a machine gun.
Oh, oh, oh.
Ho ho ho.
Hello.
By Grab Thar's hammer. So good.
What a savings.
Indeed. Hi, and welcome to our Christmas special.
Yes,
And Seen by Few Christmas special?
sure.
Yeah, why not? Um, this is our Christmas movie this year,
It is.
and we are making the official declaration
Yes,
that Die Hard
it's a Christmas
is a
movie.
Christmas movie.
What a Christmas movie's about? Family.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's about family. About bringing people together.
Yeah.
This movie's about bringing people
This
together.
movie's about coming down to the coast, have a few laughs, shooting the glass. This movie is definitely a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, you have the was it the bells in the beginning? Hark how the bells,
Yeah.
and then at the
This
end of it,
plays Christmas music.
then at the other
For
you
the whole
have
evening.
then at the you have Let It Snow at the end. So if this isn't a Christmas movie, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So
But again, most people who say this isn't a Christmas movie will tell you that you don't know what is. But it takes something taking place during a time is not necessarily a Christmas movie because Castaway starts around Christmas time.
mm,
It's not really a Christmas movie because then time advances and that's not really relevant. But this takes place on Christmas. They're at a Christmas party. It's about family. It's about bringing people together. It's about healing wounds. It's about communication.
yeah,
Not taking for granted what you have.
definitely. Shoes. Don't take them for granted.
I know, seriously.
Bullets. Don't take them for granted. Machine guns.
Yep.
Don't take them for granted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So Nick was like, Die Hard. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So
As we talked about doing like a real Christmas movie, but yeah,
A Miracle on 34th Street. If you wanted us to sit here and be like,
it's a movie that you can watch, and
yeah,
it's I don't know, classic, I guess. Yeah.
which means that we're now officially out of Christmas movie ideas. So
No, 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 no. We'll get it. We'll if we need to do a real Christmas movie at some point in time, we can. And if it has to be Santa Claus,
oh god,
so be it.
let's not do that. Or Violent Night.
We've already done that. That was our Christmas movie last year.
Was it?
Yeah, it came out last Christmas.
Oh, that was the one with Hop.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
David Harbour.
What about Christmas Sleigh? If there's not a movie that's called that, it needs to be.
Yeah, there is now.
But so this is the way that we normally do it. We guess each other's ratings
Mm-hmm.
because we really don't talk about it much.
No,
And then after we give our ratings, then we go into spoiler talks.
and at least as of now, maybe it's still there by December. It's free on YouTube
Hmm.
with the occasional modified air quotes and that it fades to black like it's a TV edit, but they still swear. It just has the bits where it like and fade to black. I'm like, I don't think this was in the real movie, but I've not seen an actual cut of this movie in so long. It tends to be ones that was just like on TV that I'd be like, yeah, but Die Hard.
Well, so I think it's TNT
Hmm.
or TBS, one of those. They always show fucking Die Hard every single Christmas. And one of the channels, I believe, shows it 24 hours a day while it's Christmas Eve and Christmas. So uh, if you haven't seen Die Hard,
I guess be forewarned. After
yeah,
rating, we're getting into it.
yeah, uh, tighten the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Because this movie's been out a while, and it's probably one of Bruce Willis's best. So,
I don't know if there's a probably in there.
hmm?
I don't know if there's a probably in there. What movie has he done that's better than this? Well,
Fifth Element's
we'll get
better.
into it. Yeah,
Fifth Element's better.
probably.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a handful of movies that I really, really love, um, but I mean, the dude, he just,
Even like the Die Hard versus Fifth Element. I mean, some people are just not into the Fifth Element. I like it more than this, probably.
yeah. Well, here we go.
Yep.
Nick,
Yes.
on a scale from 0 being this movie is utter trash and I never want to see it again, and 10 being wow,
Wow.
and 5 being right in the middle, what would you give this movie?
I think it's an 8. As in, it's almost a 9, but it kind of occurs to me like I don't. A lot of movies I own,
Mm,
I never felt the desire to buy this movie
really?
because I like it. Like it being thrown on TV or like someone's like, I'm gonna throw on Die Hard. I'm like, yeah, fucking go for it, buddy. I'm never gonna be opposed to watching it, but it's not one I usually like seek out to watch myself even during Christmas time. It's not like a usual Christmas movie for me. I know it is some people's like Christmas tradition. Not really for me. It's a good movie. I like it.
It's tradition in our house. It's not Christmas Day until Hans Gruber falls from a Nakatomi Tower. We do it every single year. And we have not missed one yet. So
What are you gonna get? What are you gonna give it?
I would give this movie a solid 8.
See, I was figured you might go a little higher.
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, I'm kind of waffling on between the 8 and the 9 because, like, this movie did have a fantastic storyline to it. Like, it wasn't your standard, like, super cop coming to town, and, like, laying down the law. But this one had a lot of depth to it because you got to see what the bad guys were doing, you got to see what the good guy was doing. The outside perspective of Al being outside, like, it was an all around great storyline, and it was a solid movie.
Yeah, even like the relationship between Bruce and his wife is well done too.
Yeah, the Gennaro, you're going by Gennaro now, like that turn, where Hans figures it out, like that was great.
It's good. Yeah.
Like it's just there's so much good shit in this movie. I remember this is gonna date me. I remember seeing this one in the theater. This was one of the movies I had to sneak in to go see.
Yeah.
Because me and my
What was
cousin,
it, 80, 89? Is it earlier than that? I did not look up to see what year.
we're bad hosts.
Let's go ahead and continue the story.
But yeah, it's this one that I remember I was a teenager and we went and bought tickets to go see something. I don't remember what was out in the theater at the time, but we snuck in and saw Die Hard. And then after the movie, me and my cousin loved it so much that we were talking about it. My dad was like, "That's in the fucking Grinch Stole Christmas," or whatever it was we saw. And we were like, "No, it was just another movie that people were talking about." My dad figured it out.
Imagine that.
Yeah, well, he didn't. He never. After that, he never asked questions. Because we also paid to go see something and went and saw RoboCop, and we came out of that movie fucking like stunned. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that movie was like ultra violent, for us.
Yeah.
Back then.
It's ultraviolet for now.
Yeah, like when he shot Murphy's hand off, I was like, yeah, I was traumatized.
Yeah. 88.
88, yes. So, so I was 14, 13, something like that. But anyways, yeah, this is probably iconic Bruce Willis lead man action hero fucking roles.
I think because it was a divergent from what he used to, because this was moonlighting before this, right? And this was kind of the divergence that kind of defined what the rest of his career was kind of going to look like.
Yeah, and now keep in mind that like I fucking loved Moonlighting.
I've never seen it.
So my mom was into it. Some Walk by Night. It was a good show. I think it was Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. I'm gonna do the numbers game because I'm looking it up right now.
Oh,
Hopefully, did you look at it?
Just the date.
So should I not look?
I didn't see the.
You didn't see anything?
I didn't see the.
Okay. So yeah, my mom used to watch like Moonlighting back in the day, and like that was a show that I absolutely like. I love Bruce Willis's character in it. I think he breaks the fifth wall quite a bit, like looks right at the camera.
The fifth wall.
Yeah, the fourth wall. Sorry. Yeah, he's in your living room.
Oh no, he's behind you. You watching my movie?
Hey, you got a cup of water?
Hey, you watching my movie?
I thought I'd come into your den, have a few laughs.
Are you Mark Wahlberg? That's the only one I can do. I'm sorry, man.
Everything sounds like Mark Wahlberg, apparently. But yeah, I did not know what I was getting into when I went and saw this movie, and then like I walked out of that theater buzzing.
This is good.
And I think it's one of the first movies I've ever seen Alan Rickman in.
Mm-hmm. I think so for me as well.
And I remember walking out of that thinking, that dude was fucking phenomenal, and I had no clue who he is.
Yeah. It's also, I remember, like, it's like Hans Gruber, like a German guy. It's like, hello. I'm like, that's a weird German accent.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but he has that deep, sinister sounding voice. Mm-hmm. He's such a good bad guy.
He is. And I guess it's one that I like because he's not Action Man. It's like all of the people around him are kind of like the action shooty people, and he's just kind of like the mastermind, the clever one, the one that can figure that shit out, that doesn't get riled up when shit's going bad until like near the very end he finally starts to get like, oh, fuck this guy.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's great, and he's like I American who's seen too many movies. Rob Roy or whatever the hell
John
he's
Wayne.
yeah John Wayne and he was like yippee ki yay motherfucker and how he's just like turns off the fucking radio like okay. I just love that. So Bruce Willis before he did Moonlighting, he's in a few movies. I've never heard of, The First Deadly Sin. Apparently, well, no, that was 2003. Apparently, he was in episodes of Miami Vice.
Number one new
Number
show.
one new show. Thank you. Then he was in something called Dolly for 22 episodes as performer.
Oh, sweet.
So he had these no-name parts. And then he did Die Hard, 88. And then he did Moonlighting, which was 85 to 89. So you had quite a few episodes in there. But that's what established him as a leading man.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, it was Sybil Shepherd, Bruce Willis. And then you had other names that some people will probably be able to pick out. You had Curtis Armstrong, who played Booger in Revenge of the Nerds. You had Alice Beasley. She was kind of a popular character actor back in the 80s. And then as I'm looking through the cast of this show, there's a lot of people that I do not know. But apparently Mark Harmon was in an episode as Sam Crawford. But this isn't a Moonlighting review.
No.
But this was the turning point where it was kind of like, who's this guy going to be?
Mm-hmm.
And then this was the one that set the tone.
Because Moonlighting was a comedy, right?
Yes, it was. It was
So
like
is he the comedian or is he the action star?
yeah, it was like a detective agency that was like, it was a detective agency show, but it had a lot of wacky comedy. The one I can remember is like they're chasing a dude down in a mattress factory, and at the end of the episode, the guy like jumps off the thing and hits a mattress, and then like the last, I don't know, minute of the episode is them bouncing really high on fucking mattresses, and it was funny. It was very amusing, especially for me back in the day. I think I was 10. But yeah, it was weird seeing him turn into this action hero, and then like everything after that was basically just Bruce Willis.
It's him in whatever this is, like his action man doing this thing, action man doing this, action man doing this.
Yeah,
This is kind of the quintessential action man.
yeah. But I mean, oh my god, the dude's got like so many fucking movies, like to his credit. And I met him, but I've told that story, so I'm not going to tell it again. So find the video.
You can tell it again.
When they were shooting, I think it was Die Hard 3, the one with Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Yeah, with a vengeance.
And that also had hook, line, and sinker. What's his name? Why am I blanking on his name now? Because he was like the nicest one. Jeremy Irons.
Okay.
It was they shot the whole thing in Charleston, and I think it was Jeremy Irons, Die Hard with a Vengeance, which I believe was the third movie.
Yeah, that is.
Anyways, at that time I was an underage person, not 21. I was going into the booby bars illegally because I made them think that I was 21, and I was hanging out with some of the people there, and Bruce Willis came into the club one night, and the person that I was the most friendly with there, he was like, "Hey, Sandy, you want to come and go to this thing? We're having a casting party over there. It's like I think they were just closing the show." And she was like, "Sure, can I bring my friend?" And he's like, "Whatever." So she brought Chuck and myself along to the party, and I got to walk around. And it was before I even knew who Samuel Jackson was.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only thing I think I had seen Jeremy Irons in at that point was M. Butterfly. Which I believe, because I knew who he was, I think it was because of M. Butterfly. I had a buddy of mine who was a big film auteur, and he's like, "You need to watch this movie, it's really good." And I walked up to Samuel Jackson, I was like, "Hey, Mr. Jackson, nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to seeing the movie." He's like, "Hey, man," shook my hand. And then I went to Jeremy Irons, who was being very quiet, and I was like, "Hey, I saw you in a Butterfly. It's very nice to meet you." And he was like, "Oh, well, I appreciate you." And me and him talked for I don't know, 5 minutes. And then I left him alone. I'm not the kind of person who likes to linger.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when I saw Bruce Willis, I was like, "Hey, Mr. Willis, just want to let you know I loved you and like Moonlighting. You were great." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then he's like, "Hey, you want to come over?" He's like, he's still talking to my friend that was at the club. And he's like, "You want to come over here and talk to these people?" And just basically blew me off and walked off. And I was kind of like, "What a dick."
Yep. He
But
was here for one reason, and
yeah,
it was not men.
no, not at all. But I mean, you hear a lot of stories about Bruce Willis. Some most bad, some good.
Yeah.
But you know,
I think it's just over time, stardom kind of turned him into, I don't know, just kind of self-focused. I don't know.
I think it happens to everyone.
Yeah, fame does shit to you.
Yeah, like I really wanted to meet Dan Fogler,
Mm-hmm.
who is in. I loved him in the ping pong movie. Uh,
Uh, is
something.
it Balls of
Yeah,
Fury?
Balls of Fury. I loved him in that movie, and then Fanboys. I loved him in that movie. I think he's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got into Fantastic Beasts,
Okay.
and him and Carl Urban were there at Dragon Con one year,
Mm-hmm.
and all I wanted, I did not want an autograph. I didn't want anything from Dan Fogler. I just wanted to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then like Carl Urban's people come in, and she's like, people have to stand 20 feet back. You have to pay for this. The autograph is $50. If you want a fucking selfie with him off your phone, that's going to cost you $50. Like there was all these fucking rules, and I was like, glad I'm not going to go over and see him because I would have liked to shake his hand because I loved him as bones.
Yeah.
But Dan Fogler, it was the same fucking thing with him. There was a person who came in there like, you have to stand behind this line, $50 for this, and I was so disappointed that I didn't at least get to walk up to him because I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I loved you in fucking Fantastic Beasts," and I would have been the one guy that would have been like,
Fanboys.
in my country it was pronounced "bing bong," like I was just so looking forward to meeting him. Huge disappointment, but I'm sure he's a fine person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like that was oh my god, that was such a letdown. Like I've walked through the what's the room full
Yeah,
of
yeah.
people.
The
I got
celebrity row or whatever it was.
I got to meet Norman Reedus, and all I did was walk up to him and was like, "I loved you in Boondock Saints."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Thanks, man." And then I walked over to the other Boondock Saint. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was cool too. And I was like, "I loved you and thank you for the entertainment." And they shook my hand, walked off. I always do that every single year, but I don't know. Does that make me a dick for not like buying the picture?
I don't know. I mean,
I mean, they're there to
they're,
sell
they're there to
autographs.
get money, essentially. Because I mean, I don't know if they get paid to go to conventions. I imagine they probably get something, but a lot of it is mostly in whatever they can sell.
Yeah,
But I mean, also it's a chance to meet people.
I imagine they get like free rooms and shit.
I would think so.
But maybe not. I've heard that like Dragon Con is infamously cheap when it comes
I believe it.
to setting up the accommodations. But anyways, sorry to derail this as much as I did. But that's what I do. But yeah, what more can you ask for in an action movie? Like all the characters were well fleshed out.
Yep.
Everyone had a backstory. Like you had the fucking Austrian brothers or whatever the fuck they were. Carl, and then you'll get your revenge, Carl, because he was so pissed that his fucking brother got like,
Marked.
yeah, murked and then sent up an elevator shaft with a sweater. I want that sweater. Like every year, someone's like, buy the ugly sweater for Christmas, and I want that. I want a machine gun. Ho ho ho. But yeah, it's just the movie is just fantastic.
The little cokehead guy.
Okay, guy.
The
Oh, Hans
yeah,
Bumblebee.
yeah. Because well, they first meet him, they go into the room or whatever, and he's coming up going, "Yeah, hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, and he's like, you missed a bit right there.
Or even before he does all that kind of stuff too, he's down there like,
So I'm not gonna look. I think it was Ellis.
I don't know.
Hey, John Boy. I fucking hate that guy so much. I think his name is Ellis in the movie. But yeah, that guy's horrible.
Yeah.
But I also this time I actually caught something I hadn't caught previously. Is when he's like, "Yeah, John, they got all us up here now. It's time that you stop all the bullshit. Get down here and like give these people what they want." And you hear the guy like popping his coke in the background, and like you hear it. It specifically goes to John while he's listening, and then you hear like the psst, as they're giving him his coke and shit. And he's just like, "What did you tell them?"
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's Hans. I know what
I
kind of
don't know this man. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know this guy.
I just met him tonight. I know what kind of guy you are, and he doesn't know what kind of guy you are. So please, we do not know each other. And like Hans is kind of like, okay, well, he wasted my fucking time. I guess I'm gonna put a cap in his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll make a use out of him.
yeah. Like even Ellis is like he's deplorable.
Oh yeah.
Because he's fucking '80s guy.
Oh yeah. It's like I close $1 million deals, but I can handle like a terrorist. It's like,
Yeah.
can you, buddy?
Hans,
Booby.
Booby, I could give him to you. He's so he just that was the one death that was just like yeah, you know.
Deserved.
Yeah. But yeah, like the movie was just fantastic. It's still
It holds up.
it does hold up. And it's got so many fucking people in it too. It's got was it Mr. Winslow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Al.
I don't remember the actor's name.
Since you haven't looked up the scores,
Yeah, yeah. No,
I'm gonna
I'll
pull them
look it
back up. So let's see. Okay, of course you have Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman. She is that person, and I know that a lot of people are probably going to know her from different things, but Bonnie Bedelia, Bed, Bed,
Bedelia?
Bedelia, yeah, she's been in quite a few things back in the '80s. You had Reginald Bell Johnson as Al. You had fucking Paul Gleason, who is just a fantastic, super punchable face.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. As the police chief, right?
Yeah, he's no, yeah, he was the guy that was like just above Al but underneath the FBI.
I like that the two FBI agents were Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, no relation. Yeah, he played the principal in the Breakfast Club. The dude's like he's a great villain.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people with glass on him down here. You got a lot to answer for. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Let's see other notable names. So you had William
Atherton?
Atherton.
I don't know that I know him.
So he's another guy that's got a super punchable face.
Was he one of the what did he play?
So he was Walter Peck in Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy that had no dick.
That's right. He has no dick.
Yes, I think that's the only thing that I'm going to be able to point out without having to really search through. But he's another person who plays really good bad people. Hart Brockner was Ellis. Has this guy been in anything else? He's got to be in something else. He was in the Money Pit. So the guy who played Carl, Alexander Godunov, Godunov. I'm usually a lot better at sounding people's names out. I don't know what it is. But yeah, this had a great cast.
Yeah.
Great actors. Then it had that fucking guy,
Yeah, oh yeah. He was
Al Leong.
he was in a lot of stuff back in the days. I think he was a stuntman, but occasionally he would get like a bit more camera-y roles because he was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, right?
Yeah, he was Genghis
He was
Khan.
Genghis Khan, yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's that guy.
Yeah.
Just like I'd say the guy who played Big Trouble in Little China. The guy who was Lopan.
I don't know if I remember who played him.
I can't remember his name.
I watched that movie once.
Really?
Yeah, like a while ago.
No shit.
I went into like Best Buy one day, and Big Trouble in Little China was on Blu-ray for like $4. I'm like, I've heard about this movie so much that I ended up picking it up and like watching it the once. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's a movie, I guess.
You were done. You were done after that.
Yeah, I don't need to really go back and watch it too many times. It's amusing, but it's not like a favorite of mine.
I love that movie. Yeah, I fucking love that movie. But yeah, like
I like that Kurt Russell was like, all these people knew what the fuck was going on, and he's in here like, what the fuck, what's going on? I mean, he's kind of like the sidekick, but the movie was about him, and I like that aspect of it.
he was the guy that was kind of thrust into the front of it.
Yeah.
Everyone else was like ready and willing and ready to go, and he's just kind of like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay, but he was really good about putting at the front, like I look him in the eye, and so yeah, he was so good.
It'd be like having a movie about Robin, when Batman is also in the movie, and kind of like Batman's off doing an adventure, like Robin just showed up and he's like, we're fighting this clown guy. Okay, it's like, this is fucking crazy. Like, what the hell's going on? And then, like, just like enemy, like Batman Rogue Gallery after Rogue Gallery, whatever, shows up, and Robin's like, what the? I've never seen any of these people
What is
before.
happening right now? It's like Jason Todd on his first day.
Like, holy rusted metal. What's going on? I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Please don't say that. I had one of my past. I don't want to talk about it. But I see exactly where you're coming from with that. But it's just.
But that's what I liked about Big Trouble in Little China. It felt like we were following the sidekick on this crazy adventure, and it was that was fun.
Well, the guy who played David Lopan is that guy. He's in everything. The guy who played Egg Shin in that movie is that guy. You see him in a lot of stuff. But that fucking dude, Al Leong, you see him in a lot of
lot
shit.
of stuff like in the 80s and like early 90s, late 90s.
And he had his moment in this movie.
Oh yeah,
When you get down behind the counter and he looks up and sees the fucking stick of
it's good.
He had his moment.
They did pretty good at giving like little henchmen like little quirks or whatever.
And like everybody had like a few minutes. But yeah, the story of this like current action movie is a hell of a script.
It's good.
You know, like
I don't think there's any fat that needs to be trimmed off it either.
no, nothing. Everything down from they got a car. And then, like, when they drive the armored vehicle up, and the fucking dude's like, "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except the 6 assholes coming in on the west entrance, 2 by 2." Yeah, like, that guy, he was a bit much for me. But, like, when he got serious, where he's like, "I'm getting through the doors, I'm about to hit this one mag seal, I can't get through it," and that's when his character got serious. Because he wasn't, like, super fucking jokey guy at that point. Plus, Argyle needed a guy to punch.
Yeah.
So, and he got his moment.
Argyle needed something to do because he was just kind of down there.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, you didn't think you were going to do anything with him, and then all of a sudden he's the one that, like, kept them from getting away.
Yeah.
So, everyone had their part. But, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a super long review, and I
Doesn't need to stay. Like, the movie speaks for itself. It's good. Like, watch it.
Yeah.
You could probably find it for free somewhere.
Definitely. Somebody's
You might have to watch ads, but that's how most people watched this movie back in the day. It was on TV, and you had to sit through your commercials to get through it, and you didn't get Yippee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon.
I think that was in the second movie.
I think so too.
But, I mean, he does say "Yippee-ki-yay,
I
motherfucker."
think in the first one they just cut it out. I think it was just Yippee-Ki-Yay, and then nothing. And then the second movie they tried Yippee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. If you ever get to see an edited for TV movie, just watch it. It's great.
Some of them can't be. You want your snakes on a plane?
I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
And Big Lebowski.
That's what you get for
It's what you get when you meet a
stranger
in
in the
the
Alps.
Alps. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus one of my favorites that I know you have not seen was I think it was House Party with Kid and Play.
Okay.
And he said, "I just wanted to come here and kick some monkey feces." Oh my god, dude. We got so high and watched that movie one time, but I thought I was gonna die. But yeah, what more can you say than this is a perfect action movie?
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know I've been talking the majority of the time, and I'm sorry about that. But this is a movie I am passionate
It's good.
about.
It's a good movie. Like, and it's a good Christmas movie. Like, it's a Christmas movie. Come on, guys. It takes place during Christmas.
If you like Snape,
Yes.
watch the movie.
It's really good. Alan Rickman as a villain. I don't know how often he played the villain because I think
I'm sure.
more of the stuff I'm like more familiar with. He was a bit more, I don't know, neutrally hero. But I guess Snape is kind of villainy.
I mean, with that voice, why would you think like?
Yeah.
He definitely has to be in more.
Like full on, he is the antagonist. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think he's more of
He's like a foil.
I think he's more of a traditional actor. And I think he did more like on Broadway stuff. I'm just gonna look him up. But like Galaxy Quest,
Yeah.
so fucking good.
Yeah, he was so amazing in Galaxy Quest to sell his joke line like in all the different variations of it, like from just kind of I hate this, I'm tired of it, as it was in the show, like a bit more serious, and then like a full on I mean it this time. It's good.
Yeah,
And I
he's
don't know if anyone else could deliver by Grabthar's hammer you shall be avenged.
especially the
And,
way
and make
that
you feel like sad and kind of proud a little bit.
yeah, he's just so over it. By
Yeah.
grab Thaw's hammer. What a savings. That was so fucking funny. All right, so let's see. BBC television Shakespeare, something called Shelley, Smiley's People, uh, looks like Summer Season, Girls on Top, and then he did Die Hard in '88.
Mm-hmm.
Then he did The January Man, which is a really good movie with Kevin Kline.
I've not seen that one. I don't know if I've even heard of that one.
It's like another movie where he's like a weird detective.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Quigley Down Under, which is a really good one.
Is it Quigley, like the dog Quigley?
Quigley, yes.
With
Tom Selleck.
oh, I think I'm
I guarantee it's not what you're thinking.
no, because Quigley is like old Gary Busey got turned into a dog. I think it's Quigley. Let me see if that's Quigley.
Okay. While you're looking that up, I'll continue.
Yeah, please.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He was the sheriff of Nottingham. And then, you know.
I guess that's just a full on villain role.
Yeah, like he's fantastic. He was in Dogma as Metatron. He was so fucking good in that. That was '99, and then he had a double hit that year with Galaxy Quest that also came out in '99.
It's called Quigley from 2003. A despicable person is reincarnated as a dog in order to atone for his life's big mistakes.
And who's the dog?
And it's Gary Busey. And you would expect it to be like Gary Busey comes in and does like the voice work, but no, cuts between the dog and Gary Busey, like with a collar and shit on, quite frequently, and it's even got Curtis Armstrong, like
Yeah, there's Booger.
yeah, the guy that you're very, like used to seeing, and he's old in that thing, and he's like, oh, I can't believe this is happening on my 30th birthday, and you're like, what the fuck is this movie? It's great.
Interesting. So in '99,
Not related to Quickly Down Under, apparently.
No, not at all. And like that was a movie that I actually liked a lot. So just to give you an idea of where he started, so you had Die Hard that was in '88, and then just a few short years later, he is in '99. Galaxy Quest, so there's an 11-year span right there. But then he goes right into Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in 2001, and he was fantastic in that. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like the dude just
He's good.
he's great.
Yeah.
If you don't like Bruce Willis, watch it for Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Because when he does Clay,
And I think even if, like, it's early Bruce Willis, I know, like, later on Bruce Willis gets kind of like, I'm tired of this person, but, like, near the beginning of it, he was not quite so. I think he was trying, I guess, is probably one of the big things. And a lot of the later movies, you can kind of get the sense that Bruce Willis isn't trying anymore.
well, it's Bruce Willis was just Bruce Willis. Like he typecasted himself with that movie.
That's when he got money and influence to the point where he could start tooling things how he wanted, and it's just not necessarily great.
Well, like hear Kevin Smith tell the story of Bruce Willis. Apparently, he's like really fucking hard to work with. But then you'll hear other movies that he's in where the people, I don't know if they're just being nice, but they're like, he was great. You know, he's fantastic. Came in, nailed his fucking lines. You know, like I don't know what to believe. I know that I had my encounter with him and he was kind of a jerk, but I also understand that I was just kind of in the way.
Yeah.
But when you're a teenager and like a guy that you grew up watching is just like whatever. You know, it hurts your feelings.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's just he typecasted himself, and then like the only roles that I can think where he stepped outside of the Bruce Willis is when he played like Hartigan in the fucking movie that was all in pastels, in black and white, where he was the cop, the tough cop, and you had Mickey Rooney who played.
Is that movie he never talked
Sin
about?
City.
Oh, Sin City?
Yeah.
Was he in Sin City?
He was Hartigan. He was the
Okay.
cop.
I don't remember. I barely remember the movie.
But the only reason he was a little different in that is because he seemed like he cared a little bit more, but he was still the tough as nails cop.
Mm,
And then, I mean, Moonlighting, but that was before
yeah, yeah.
he got that.
I think he got influence and then worked on Bruce Willis time or whatever. I think that's what Kevin Smith called it.
And Hudson Hawk.
That's the one he doesn't talk about, right?
Yes. Hudson Hawk. I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah, and
Amber loves it.
I've never seen it.
It's the movie's fine, but it's got an actor in it that I can't stand. And I know. Please don't. I'm not a woman hater. Please, I don't like her just for the fact that she's also one of the people that kind of plays the same character, and it's always very loud and annoying. So you had Bruce Willis and Danny Aiello as the two mains in the movie. And then you had fucking Sandra Bernhard.
Oh,
I cannot stand Sandra Bernhard.
yeah, I don't.
She's always super loud and like delivers her line like she can't hear her own voice.
I'm not a big fan of Sandra Bernhard either.
But yeah, I hated that movie. But like in the beginning, would you like to swing on a star? And I didn't get it. And then Amber was like, that's how they measured, their beats. Or they got together, they started singing the song, and then they knew at certain beats of the song is when they were supposed to do their thing. And then the cameras would go off in coordination. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And then the rest of the movie is trash. But that's the only other thing I can think where he's not super Bruce Willis-y. Because at least he's kind of lighthearted in the movie. And I'm sure there's a lot of them out there. But he's had a large body of work.
Yeah, yeah.
And who can keep up?
No, especially I know like near the last few years he had been like churning several out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that he was kind of checked out of those too. But as it turns out, apparently he's beginning in the early stages of dementia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think he was just trying to get a bunch out for like a time, and then hopefully just relax the rest of his life as best he can.
I don't know what the excuse is, but I went and saw a movie called I think it was called Simon's Game or something like that. Sorry, Santa Cthulhu is following a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He did this movie. So we used to have this tradition on Christmas way back in the day when I was a kid, is we drank a full bottle of NyQuil.
Okay.
And then we would go and watch a movie. And one year we went and watched Spice World. And I thought I was going to lose my mind.
Okay.
I could have swore my brain was coming out of my fucking nose watching that movie. But man, I had a good time. Then he did the following year, I think it was a movie called Simon's Game. But he was like a person that was, I can't find it. He was protecting a beautiful mind kid that I think that had autism.
Okay.
That figured out a codec, and it was the most boring fucking movie. That's the only movie that I didn't force myself to stay up. I think I watched 20 minutes, so I was like, I think I'm gonna take a little nap.
I'm gonna take a little sleep here.
Yeah, my buddies woke up and apparently left the theater, and I was sitting there sleeping in my seat, and one of the dudes that was cleaning the theater was like, "Hey,
Get up.
fucking go." And I remembered waking up and I was so drowsy I was stumbling out of the fucking theater. But that movie was so bad. But
Shall we do scores?
you came here to see a Bruce Willis Die Hard review,
Oh yeah.
and we did everything but. Yes, so scores. So Nick, what do you think IMDb rated Die Hard?
8.5?
8.5?
Yeah.
That's your final answer?
Sure.
8.2.
Okay.
Very close, my friend. Very, very close. And then, for some reason, we still check Rotten Tomatoes.
I imagine still up.
You think so?
I would think so.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Might have pulled up some weird movies on there before.
Die Hard. Oh, well, it'd help if I spelled it right.
Mm-hmm. DYE. Die Hard. It's about, Bruce Willis's attempt to open a clothing business where he dyed fabrics.
I'd go see that movie.
And it was just difficult.
I'd go watch that movie.
It's like, man, it's sure is hard to die.
All right, Nick.
Yes.
What do you think the critics gave Die Hard?
Yeah. How many critics are there?
87 reviews.
Okay. So it's going to be higher than I expect or lower than I expect.
87, really?
87.
There's 250,000 plus ratings for the audience.
Well, this was back in the 80s, I assume. You know what? 87 sounds like a good number. I'm going to give it 87%.
87?
Yeah.
94.
Okay. That was higher than I expected.
What about the audience, Nick?
That one's probably going to be high. I'm going to give it 92.
92? 94.
All right. 94, 94.
Yeah, the audience and the critics agreed on this one, but like, I'm with you now. Like, what kind of a barometer is it if only like 80
80,
people?
yeah, that's not that many. So it's probably going to skew a bit more than you would expect. Because like IMDb, I think that number's settled. Like 94% for the people that of the fans that rate it on Rotten Tomatoes. That's probably settled. I don't think it'll go much beyond like 93 to 95.
That's weird.
But with 87 critic reviews, it could go down 10 or up 2 or like 5. Who knows?
I wonder if Siskel and Ebert rated this movie. Like, what? I know that was like in the time period where Chocolat and What's Eating Gilbert Grape was like the ones that were drawing all the eyes of the critics back in the day.
Are they that early?
I think What's Eating Gilbert Grape was pretty.
That one was pretty early, I think. But like Chocolat
I wouldn't even know it. Is it just spelled chocolate?
without the E.
Chocolat.
Chocolat. That's 2000.
2000.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, what I was saying is that basically like the
And Gilbert Grape is 93, but that's closer. 5 years off.
yeah. Well, it was the
Yeah,
stuff that was a
it's-
little weirder that was getting all the critics.
It's like
attention
the
back then.
artist and kind of Oscar bait movies or whatever, movies that are kind of meant to make you think or whatever. And then you've got like this movie, which is kind of like, yeah, shit blows up. But it's got stuff in the back of it that makes it an interesting watch, I think, for other people, where you can kind of like dissect it and kind of get something out of it. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched, I think it's like a therapist's react or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like you've got one guy who kind of like makes film and one guy who's like a therapist.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And they did Die Hard, where they kind of dissected like what the relationship is between John McClane and his wife, and kind of like you can kind of see like these sort of things going on between them, and that's an interesting watch if you know what it is.
Well, it's like you could tell she loves him.
Oh yeah,
You know.
and just kind of like all the mistakes he's made, and that they realize they make mistakes, and kind of like when they're arguing in the bathroom, and like okay, apparently my YouTube was on a thing. I was going to try to find I don't know what I wanted to find what that channel is called so I can actually like.
I think it's a therapist reacts.
It's not. It's close, but it's not called
Well, definitely-
Cinema Therapy.
Oh,
Cinema Therapy.
yeah, they're fantastic.
They do good work, and their Die Hard episode was insightful and interesting.
I'll have to go watch it. I can't remember what it was, but there was something that came up where we watched one of their episodes, and like Amber and I were glued to the TV. The way the guy was like breaking down the relationships and stuff like that, we were just like, I did not see that. And then we went back and watched it again. I was like, that dude's right the fuck on. So go check those guys out.
Yeah,
But I don't think they need the help.
no. But more, I guess, if it's a channel you've not heard of and you like that aspect of things, breaking down character motivations and stuff like that, it's interesting. And this was the first time I'd watched Die Hard since watching it, so I kind of was watching it for like those little moments where it's like, way to go, John. Can't,
You always find a way to fuck
yeah,
things
always
up.
wanna fuck things up. I'm like, it's like, yeah, they really did kind of build on this shit a little bit more. Because when I watched the movie as a kid, it's more like, shit, blowing up.
Well, it's even better than that was like the whole when him and Gruber as Clay were talking, and he's like, "Why are you here?" And he's like, "It fucked up. I got an invitation by accident, and I came out to see my wife, and it was all just because I guess Nakatomi was like, okay, well, John McClane's her husband, send the fucking invitation." And he got it. He just got invited by accident, and he fucking came. Otherwise, Nakatomi would have been knocked over, And those people would have skated well as bear bonds.
Knock explodey.
Not exploding.
Knock explodey. No longer a tower.
Oh man, I hope that's not one of the hostages. There's so many great lines in that movie.
It's a good movie.
But yeah,
And it's a Christmas movie, and it's Christmas time, and you should watch it. It's a perfect dad movie, I think.
mm-hmm.
If you don't have much in common with your dad, you can probably watch this movie.
I'm a dad. Take it from me. But seen by few right now is officially declared.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
It is. And if you don't think so,
I mean, it's your opinion, but
but you're wrong.
your wrong opinion is apparently the stance we're making where opinions are hard facts.
Mm-hmm.
We might as well be like the rest of America and state opinions as facts.
I'm drawing the line in the sand here, buddy. Like it is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Takes place on Christmas. There's Christmas music in it.
Someone says ho ho ho.
Yep. There's themes of togetherness. And I think like not taking your family for granted, realizing your mistakes and coming together. I mean, it's the miracle, whatever it is, the one who's on the bridge, Wonderful Life one.
Oh, is that?
think
Yeah,
it's Wonderful
It's a Wonderful Life.
Like he's like John McClane is on the edge of the building, just kind of sitting like and then he fixes his life. It's Christmas. It's very Christmassy.
Yeah.
There's no Santa, but it doesn't need Santa.
No. Well, it had Santa.
Did I have a guy dressed up as Santa? I don't remember if there
It
was
just
one.
had a guy. Now I have a machine gun.
I guess it had that Santa, like as a decoration up there. I
It
think.
was a plastic one.
No.
Good enough.
Good enough. Christmas movie. All right. Anything else we want to add?
No, sir.
All right.
Then it's a fantastic movie. If you haven't watched it, seriously, shame on you.
Yep.
Go see it now.
Yep. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas if you're in certain parts of the world. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All the other stuff.
Yeah. Happy Kwanzaa. All that good shit. So, but it just, if you have family, go there. Try not to argue. Don't talk about religion or politics. Just go, open some presents, drink some fucking cocoa, eat a piece of pie, and go home. And if you don't have family,
Watch Die Hard.
watch Die Hard, and you'll always be family in my heart.
Yes.
I love you. Keep your head up.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.